right, so for this video, we're going to import some outside models that aren't from fab.com that I downloaded off the internet. So I can show you the process for doing that. You can choose to use whatever models you want to for this, but I'll provide a link for these files to kind of work from here. So first thing you're going to want to do is go to your content drawer. You're going to content folder, and you're going to want to create a new folder in here, and I'll call this meshes. I'll open this up and I'll create a new folder in here, and I'm going to call this gem. And open that up. Now, once you're in your gem folder, we'll go to import, and you'll need to find your files that you downloaded. And you're going to want this .fpx file and then these 4 PNG files. So I'll select all of those. And I'm doing this on a Mac, so mine looks a little bit different, but the same principle applies. So you select those and then click open, then click import all. You'll end up with a static mesh file, 2 materials, and then 3 textures. Now these textures are images that you wrap around your object, and we want to go ahead and apply those to this material here. So I'm going to open up the static mesh first. And in here, I have the static mesh preview. I can see that there are 2 materials here. If I click on this material here and highlight, I can see that there's an internal material and a external material. So there's 2 sets of materials to work from that we'll have to work with. Okay, no big deal. Let's go ahead and do the external one first. So we want the one that says material 001. I'm going to go ahead and right click this and rename it. And it'll be m_gem outer. And let's open that up. So here, instead of our material editor, go to content drawer. And because this is the outer, we're going to want the transparency. Actually, we're going to want all 3 of these. So let's go ahead and grab that one there, and then the gloss. Let's set these up. So this one right here, where the file says mese_d, let's go ahead and connect this directly into our base color. Delete this other one right here. Click apply. And if we go back to static mesh, I can see, all right, I already have a material. It looks like a gem. And if I wanted to, I could leave it here. But I have these other things. Let's see how we can use them. So this right here, this is our gloss. And it has the exact same pattern as our basic color texture, but it's red. Well, how can we do this? So we want to apply this to our roughness, but roughness is a single value, numerical value from 0 to 1, but our texture is going to give us RGBA. So we're going to get 4 different values. So what we want to do is we're going to want to right click here and we'll do a 1- node. So click that. And from that 1- node, we're going to take the RGB, connect that there, then connect this to our roughness. Then click apply. And that added a bit of a shininess, but it's not perfectly shiny. And then we have this other texture, this transparency one. Well, how do we use this? Well, there's no transparency thing that we have access to here. But if we go to our details panel on the left, with nothing selected, none of the texture selected, we can actually change our material domain and our blend mode. We can change this blend mode to translucent. We'll take our texture sample and we'll connect that to opacity. And click apply. And now we have a kind of multi-layered sort of thing. We have an inside and an outside kind of look, which looks pretty cool. Great. Now let's worry about the inside. So I'm going to go back to my content drawer, and I'm going to take my other material that's here. I'm going to rename this one to M_gem inner. Open this up. So with that new gem inner material, I'm going to select my static mesh. I'm not going to open it. I'm just going to have it highlighted. And then here in the preview, if I switch to this cinder blocking looking shape, it'll set the preview shape to be that gem. So you can see what it looks like in here. Okay, now with this, I'm now going to import the textures into this material. I have my transparency, my base color, and my gloss. Again, just like before, I'm going to connect my base color, the one that has D under it, connect that there. So now that I have the texture sample for the base color attached, I'm actually going to leave this as it is. I think this looks pretty good. What if I want to change the color though? What if I don't want it to be yellow? Well, what we can do here is we can take our color, and the simplest thing we can do is just edit the actual image, but I don't want to do that. Instead, let's just multiply it. So I'm going to first off create a constant 3 vector right here. So constant 3 vector. And I'm going to set it to the color I want it to be. I'm going to go with green. Just bright green. You can then take this, and I'm going to create a multiply node. And then grab my texture, multiply that there, and then the color there, and connect this to our base color. And click apply. My gem is now green. Right now, our items are simple shapes. We want to replace the simple shape with a gem, or maybe you chose to use a coin, whatever. So to actually modify the BP item, pickup item, I go to my BP pickup item and go to my viewport. I'll select my static mesh. I'm going to change the shape here to be my gem. Looking at it, it is too low, so I'm going to have to move it up to center it. And it is actually still, it's a little too small, so I'll make it bigger. Compile and save, and there we go. I now have gems. Because I changed it where I changed it, all of my items are now this crystal. And they all rotate, and they all bounce up and down. There we go. Now, for the bomb, like a trap item that you hit and you lose health or whatever, I'm going to go ahead and work from this free asset that's on fab.com. You can find your own if you want to. I'll put a link in the video. All you have to do is click download, and then download this top one right here, this .zip file. I already have it downloaded, so I'm not going to download it again. Download that. Once you have done that, you're going to go to your folder that I downloaded it to, find that file, the .zip file. On a Mac, all I have to do is double click it. On Windows, you'll right click, extract all, then click OK. And you'll see this CCO dash bomb. Open that up. We have our source and our texture file. Once you're ready to import it, you just go to your mesh folder and then make a new folder for bomb. Already did that. Then we just go to import, and you just need to find where your stuff's downloaded. All right, so you have your textures in your source file. So I'm going to select first source.apx and click open and click import all. And then go back to import, and I'll go back to textures, and I'm going to import all of these. So what did this do? I'll open up the bomb static mesh. I have a simple little 3D model of a simple cartoony bomb. and there's one material to it. So I just need to set up that one material. I'll open that up. I'll delete this base color, and I'm going to import all of these textures. I'm going to set this up fairly quickly. So this file right here, we have bomb albedo, which is a way of saying color. So I can take that and connect it right there. Easy enough. This blue one right here is the normal map. So I can take that and connect that to normal. This white one right here is the metallic. So I can take this and connect that to metallic. Actually, for this one, I'm going to do 1 minus. So I'm going to make it a 1 minus node and connect this there. And I will do the same thing for the roughness map. So that's this gray one right here. I'm going to make a 1 minus node. Connect that there, and then connect that to roughness. And then this one right here, which has the shape cutout, I'm going to drag this one down here, and this is going to be our ambient occlusion. So for this one, I'm going to take the A value and connect that to ambient occlusion. Then click apply. Now if I look at the bomb, it looks like a little cartoony bomb. It's really small, but it's there. And then this other texture right here is for a shadow underneath it. I'm not going to worry about that one. All right, so what do we do with this? First off, I'm going to go to File, Save All, and go to my content drawer, go to my blueprints. We have our BP trap item. I'm going to go ahead and double click this, open it up, go to my viewport, select my static mesh, and I'll change the static mesh here to the bomb. Now this is way too small. So I'm going to go to the scale and drag this up, make it a lot bigger. Now I'll set the material here. Oh, I actually forgot a step. Sorry, content drawer, back to our meshes, back to bomb. We have this bomb one material. Right click this, rename M_bomb. Now, back in the blueprint, we can set the material to be the bomb. And I'll bring this up and I need to make sure it's centered. And I think I need to make it even bigger. I'll do 8, like that. Compile and save. And now if I drag a bomb item into my scene, blueprints, trap item. And I have a bomb. I have something I need to avoid. Great. That's it for this one. Thanks.